In this review, we're looking at the WorkSharp 3000 sharpener system. We're going to look at what comes in the kit, what the sharpener does, and at some accessories that you can get for it. This is a very complete kit for basic sharpening needs in the wood shop. The kit comes with two of the heavy glass wheels that support the adhesives and this slotted wheel. The slots in the abrasive disc match these slots and let you see through the wheel during sharpening, and we'll look at that more closely a little later. This sharpener is pretty rugged in its construction. It has a cast metal top, a tough sheet metal body, and a tool-grade plastic base. The base has molded-in mounting lugs so you can secure the sharpener to a surface. The chisel and plane iron port has an adjustable fence. That lets you confine the tool to make sure that it gets sharpened squarely. This port has index stops that lets you tilt it to the proper angle for your tool. This window on the side shows you what angle you're currently using. This port also has an air intake that helps it stay cool. And this whole port works as a heat sink to make sure that your tool doesn't get overheated. A replaceable abrasive sheet on this port helps remove the burrs from the back of the tool while you're sharpening. The on-off switch on the side has a removable key so you can disable the machine when you're not going to be around. I never enjoyed putting a round abrasive on a round backer, but the DVD that comes with the WorkSharp machine shows you to fold it into a U shape and then set that center hole over the center hole on the disc, and it comes out perfect. You do essentially the same thing with the slotted disc. The slots in the paper match those in the disc, and you get those lined up and just lay it down. It really does work a lot better than I thought it was gonna. I last sharpened this chisel on my jet wet sharpener, and it uses a wheel, so there's a small concave shape in the bevel, and you can see that develop right away when you start sharpening it on this machine. Being able to actually see that bevel while you're sharpening it takes a little getting used to. Once you get used to it, being able to watch the bevel while you're sharpening is a big help. I discovered that this chisel had a bit of tape on the back, probably from unpacking the tools. After removing that, it cleaned up the bevel and gave me a nice square edge. I was using the 400 grit paper when I sharpened this chisel, but the bevel looks shinier than that. For a lot of people, this chisel's ready to go to work as it is right now. But with the grits supplied in the kit, we can refine that bevel edge a little more. The glass wheels are two-sided, and you can put different grits on either side. Here I have a finer grit on the bottom so I can polish the bevel up a little more. The grit on the top side is slightly more aggressive, and I can use that for cleaning up the back of the chisel to make sure there's no burr on that. You can also use the tool rest that comes with the kit for sharpening a lot of different kinds of tools. I know people think this machine is strictly for flat stuff, but that isn't true. It does do a nice job on plane irons though. The WorkSharp 3000 can sharpen a lot of tools on its own, but they've got some accessories that make it even more versatile. The wide blade attachment lets you work with blades up to 3 inches wide. The kit comes with the extension table, a holding jig for the blade, and a setup gauge. The table attaches using the tool rest mounts and then is leveled with 4 screws, one in each corner. The notches along the side let you determine the angle of the bevel. Then you can place the stop block in the appropriate hole. With the iron holding jig in the setup piece, we set the blade against that stop and lock it down. Then when we flip the jig over again and use it on the table, that puts the blade at the proper angle on the abrasive. The wheels of the jig stay on the table, but then the blade can rub on the abrasive, making sure we stay to this side so the abrasive is moving away from the blade. When you're done grinding, you can turn the jig over and lay the blade on the abrasive wheel to get rid of the burr. If you want to refine the bevel further, you can use one of the finer grits on the glass wheels. And before you know it, the bevel's done, your iron's ready to use. The leather honing surface comes already bonded to a heavy glass wheel. Before we use the honing wheel the first time, we have to prepare the surface. First, we have to apply this petroleum-based skin protectant to the leather. We just rub a thin coat of this all over the leather so it accepts the grinding compound better. This step is only done the first time when you're preparing the wheel for use. And now we can apply the honing compound that's supplied with the kit. Start at the middle and just work your way out to the edge to give the whole wheel a good coat. And then we can go ahead and hone the blade. You can use the wide blade attachment or the tool rest, whichever works best for you. And before long you can see that the bevel is starting to get a nice shine to it and the grinding marks are going away. Installing the belt sanding kit begins by removing the locking knob and installing the pulley that has a threaded stud that replaces the locking knob. The rest of the belt mechanism attaches to this mount on the end of the Worksharp 3000. We just slip this nut into that mount, bring it up to the top, and then tighten the locking knob. To install one of the 3 provided belts, we push this tensioner in and give it a turn so it locks back. Slip the belt over the pulley and through this mechanism, and then bring that tensioner back out. Then you can start it up and see if you need to adjust the belt tracking at all. And that adjustment knob is right on top of the mechanism. Finally, we set the angle of the rest as needed for the job. Then hold a knife or scissors against the rest and stroke the full length over the abrasive belt. Give one side of the cutting edge a few strokes over its full length, and then turn it upside down to give the other side the same number of strokes. And just repeat this process until the blade is sharp. The Coarse Abrasive Kit for the Workshop 3000 comes in handy if you're going to be doing a lot of heavy grinding, like reshaping cutting edges. This kit gives you a good selection of grits that should cover most jobs you'll find in a shop. If you use chisels, planes, knives, or other cutting tools in your shop, you can make your woodworking life a lot easier by getting a Worksharp 3000. Any cutting tool works better and safer with a good clean cutting edge.